Got it.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina. We're super excited to have you guys with us here today. We've got a fabulous guest in her virtual studio. Tina, how are you doing?
Good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness. Yesterday we had the best time on the Connect Summit 8. I am still, it's almost like, you're partying all, are you doing your sneeze for the day?
Oh, sorry. No, I was
Oh,
getting
no.
my timer. I do. I keep my Kleenex in this little cupboard.
She
Right?
sneezes like 3 times every day before, like right when we start the show. So I try to keep on going so people don't notice. But she's like, I think she's just allergic to the show.
And you would think I would like come prepared, right? Because I do
You
it
do. You
every
always
day.
have your Kleenex right there.
But it surprises me. But because my house, right, because it's on the market, we're kind of cleaning up. I tucked the Kleenex box in the little cupboard, so it wasn't on the desk. So
We're gonna have to talk about that because this is the whole moving situation is like crazy, right?
I know you guys are all getting like a front row play by play.
But yesterday we had our Connect Summit, and it's almost like New Year's Eve. You know, like the next day you're just like almost like hungover, but not hungover. Like my eyeballs hurt. I have like
because we've got lights
got all those
glaring at
lights
us
on us for
all day.
8 hours, and I'm like,
So what is a Connect Summit, Tina? What is that?
Our, so,
You got to share. What is
yeah,
that?
so
So
Angel
those of
and
us who
I
don't know.
right? Angel and I started the Connect Virtual Summit back in March, and our Angel and I are both speakers, and we were starting to travel, and Angel had been traveling. I was just starting to traveling, and I had 18 stages booked, and like all of a sudden,
all canceled just like that.
Like I was at the Tampa airport, and I'm like, Angel, all my stuff is canceling. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
She was just like, she had just come back, was like full launch. She'd gotten all her branding, her pictures, her signature talk. Like she was on fire, booking all of this, and then all of a sudden, like it's all falling out. She's like, uh-oh.
Click. And she's like, I had 11 canceled just today. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, well, what are we going to do? I said, I'm sitting here. I said, I have like 3 hours before I get on my plane. And she was like, I was like, let's do a virtual summit. And she was like, oh, that's a good idea. And so we literally took our idea before I got on the airplane and had the name of it, what date we're going to do it, what, how many speakers we were going to, I don't even think we had how many speakers, because when I got back off the airplane, she's like, we have 45 people who want to speak. And I was like, oh my God. And so we turned it into a 2-day event from idea to concept. It was 10 days. Angel?
From the idea, we like, let's have it. And 10 days later, we hosted this 2-day event, 28 speakers on it. And what's so funny, Tina, and so then yesterday we did our 8th one. So every month since then, we have hosted a Connect Summit to bring people together to connect. But what's a little bit interesting when you tell that story, Tina, I am not a fast, like, let's move fast kind of girl.
I'm not like a spontaneous. I'm like, hold on, let's plan this out. Let's get a calendar. Let's
get the calendar. Let's plan it out. I gotta know stuff, right? Well, let's bring our fabulous guest into the conversation. Let's introduce her a little bit to our audience. Dorothy Inez, where are you coming to us from today?
I am coming to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Minnesota.
I know.
Well, I'm from all over the place, so I don't have the ODA going on.
How long have you lived there?
I moved here from LA a year and a half ago.
Okay.
What's funny is I met Dorothy Inez years and years, probably like 15 years ago in Savannah, because I lived in Savannah for 16 years, and I used to run all the networking groups in Savannah, like eWomen Network, Professional like all the networking groups. And when we had Michelle,
I could totally see you in that role, Tina. That's like an ideal role for you.
I loved it. And it's funny because when I left, everybody's like, we have no networking here. I try to give it to other people. They just couldn't keep it up. But
it's harder than it looks.
It's a
Yeah, it
full-time
looks
job.
fun.
It is a full-time job. But I was on, we had Michelle Cunningham on, and then so I started fangirling on her, right? And I'm on her page, and she had me, on the interview, and she's like, "Oh my God, my new friend Tina." And then I see this person, "Are you the Tina Torres from Savannah?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, who is this?
You guys knew each other 15 years ago and just ended up in a Facebook group together and reconnected.
Yes.
But we've actually been friends on Facebook, the whole time, but then we just lost, over time you lose touch because we actually had messages from back in the day, but you just lose touch when you start getting so many
and then the Facebook algorithm, sometimes you don't see people's, stuff, and then you're Facebook friends with them, but you don't see all their stuff all the time, right? You only see like 3% of your friends. And so we started connecting again, and it was just so funny because I was like, oh my God, it is a small world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So our song is Reunited and it feels so good. Okay.
I love it.
I'm gonna take singing lessons. I think I'm gonna take singing lessons.
Your whole entire family are singers.
Except for me.
Except for you.
Except for
me. Get it together, girl. Get it together.
Where do they get their musical talent from? And speaking of singing, we all need to pretty much sing happy birthday to somebody today.
Oh, we might have to. Yeah, they play instruments, they read music, they sing, they're talented.
Now, I used to play, you're gonna die. I used to play the flute for like
me too.
For like 2 years. So I know how to read music. It's FACE and every good boy deserves fudge.
Isn't it do re mi? Isn't it do re mi?
That's for vocal exercises.
Oh.
But sheet music, it's it's 4 lines and it's FACE, so it's FA, and then the lines are every good boy deserves fudge.
Mm-hmm. You got face, and every boy deserves fudge in their face.
All right, so Dorothy, you moved 2 years ago. What took you to Minnesota?
I moved here a big part to support somebody who needed some assistance who lived here, but also because I'm a huge Prince fan. And
Wait, Prince?
So
Prince,
Prince, yeah.
Like Purple Rain Prince?
That's his hometown.
Purple Rain and Beyond Prince, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Purple Rain fan too.
Yeah, well, I'm beyond Purple Rain. There's like so much music beyond that, but I was coming here like every 3 months or so when he passed for events. No, I'm not a groupie. I'm a fam, which is family. I've been with Prince since 1978, and I got to go on 2 tours with him because my girlfriend played keyboards for him. But yeah, he's my inspiration.
Wow.
And just so you guys know, my first name is Dorothy Inez, just so people that are watching know, because I hate being called Dorothy, because every time people call me Dorothy, what do you think of?
The Wizard of Oz.
Exactly. So
Dorothy Inez.
Yes.
You were on tour. Like you
really were on tour?
Like you've been with Prince, how?
At a distance. What? Yeah. So, well, my friend Bonnie was his keyboard player, and for 2 years, 2 tours, Love Sexy, Sign of the Times, which was just re-released September 25th, and they were showing one of the shows I was at. But yeah, I just literally, it was, sis, I'm coming over and come with us. I'd rent a car and I'd do about 5-6 dates and, be with them, and just, 2 summers of my life. There she goes with the sneezing. She got one in.
It always is during the banter too. So I'm always, when she does it, I always try to keep her off. But she's like,
yeah. So it was super exciting. It was a dream come true because, like I said, I've been a fan since '78, and to be able to be in that energy in that space and attend after parties and just be close to him. And one time I called up to his room and I couldn't believe he actually answered, because I snuck on and looked on her room roster to see what his room number was, and he answered.
And then did you hang up?
Well, when he answered, this was so stupid. I'm like, "Hi, Prince. Me and my friend were wondering if we could just come up and say hi and meet you." And he started laughing. And he was like, I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I go, "I know." You know, can we come up? No, just joking. I was like, "Okay, bye." And then we just started screaming. And then one time me and him were in the hallway. I was going to drop off a poem for him for his birthday, because I had written him this poem based on all of his songs. And I was going to his suite, and lo and behold, he walks out, and I'm this unknown person to him. And I'm like freaking out inside. So I have my head down and I'm like, I'm only 3 doors from his room. I'm like, what am I going to do? And he says, "Hello." And I go, like I'm dying on the inside. And I slid my letter up under his door and I ran. So, and I have some more experience.
I ruined my time.
Yes. But it was great. And that was just an opportunity. I just wish I could have been here when he was doing all these shows in the 90s, but the 90s was the time when I was really developing my career. So, and I didn't live here. I travel. I've been traveling my whole life, born and raised in Germany, and just lived everywhere my whole life.
Wow. What a fascinating life you have led.
Right?
How much fun is this? And that you two knew each other even.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and just a couple months ago, didn't you do a whole Prince thing, Angel?
I kind of did. They were
doing a live. They're doing like
they did a live, yeah, or they brought out an old concert and they were doing a live streaming of a concert that Prince did. It was like a one night showing or something like that.
Are you talking about the one they recently did?
Yeah.
So you were with us on that. Wasn't that so amazing? I was over here. I was at that show.
You were at that show.
I was at that show. And so I was over here screaming, tears were coming down my face because I was having I think I was 23 at the time, having flashbacks. So yeah, I was at that show.
Wow.
Well, I just watched it. I was so excited.
Oh, wow.
I think somebody's like, "Angel, what are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "I'm going to a Prince concert." And they're like, "Wait, what? How? What?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's kind of been one of the, when you look at some of the things that have come out of this pandemic, right? There's been some.
I think that same weekend you went and seen Hamilton.
Oh, right. And we've seen Hamilton I saw my very first opera at the Metropolitan Opera House.
You went to the Met?
Yeah, I went to the Met. I saw an opera in Germany.
She went to the Met in her pajamas and a pint of ice cream.
And a pint of ice cream. It was very classy. Very classy. Sitting here on the couch, eating my ice cream and watching this opera. But it's been amazing times. I mean, I've got to watch stars do little mini concerts from their kitchens, right? Because they go live and they're totally connected. Oh, there's my honey. Everybody say hi, Miss. Oh, you guys.
Oh, we have a cameo. We get a cameo every now and then of Mr. Eye Candy himself. Mr. Eye Candy, you're going to be very busy the next couple of weeks, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
So Angel, like Angel said yesterday, she said they sold their house and they have to be gone by the end of this month.
By the end of the month. Yeah.
Like so October, like in 3 weeks, they got to be
in 3 weeks. So these are you got a contract on your house flowers from my realtor. And we put the house on the market Friday. Today is Wednesday. So we got a contract within 4 days. And but they want to be in the house at the end of the month. And we did not anticipate it to go quite that quickly.
Sounds like Michelle's situation.
It's it is a Michelle Cunningham situation. I will tell you, she was a little bit of my inspiration. She was on, she had just they were still in their house
Yeah.
when the first time she was on the show. And she told us, they've been in there all these times,
Yeah,
all
she was
these
like, I was
years.
just bored and I got online and I said, let's move.
Yeah. It wasn't quite like that for me, but it just like kind of opened up. And what's interesting is we've been in our house now for almost 21 years. It'll be almost 21 years to the day that we move out. And but I was looking, at some of the other houses that are on the market and selling in the neighborhood, and they're all been here like 20 years as well. It's the original buyers from this neighborhood when they developed it. But this neighborhood needs a family. Like it needs, Michael was 2 when we moved in, and he's 23 today. So and we've raised our babies here, and it's just time. It's time for a new family to come in. And they wrote us a letter with their offer saying, they've just been married a few years and they want a place that they can have a family, right? Walk their babies to school. And I'm like, you get to the elementary schools around the corner, the middle school, the high school. It's the perfect place, and made us cry. Jay and I are standing in the kitchen. We were holding it together, doing pretty good. And then we read this letter and we're like, oh,
but
it's
the
perfect.
thing is, you completely manifested this, Angel. Like when you said, hey, I'm going to put the house on the market, I was like, oh my God. I said, it's going to sell quick. She's like, no, I don't think so. She's like, but I want a family in here who's going to raise their family. I want somebody in here who's going to raise their family. Like for the next 20 years, they can have, raise their family. You totally manifested that. And what I like the best is that you took that inspired action that we've been talking about, right, all week, and that you did it. But you only have 3 weeks to go. You have to pack, get rid of stuff, pack, and get out of the house in 3 weeks. So
and I work full time, right? And I work full time, like so nothing else.
I told her, I said, well, thank goodness Jay is taking over that, because you gotta stay like she does. She works from like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning until like 6 o'clock at night every single day. There's no time to, I'm just gonna take a week off to do this. She can't do that.
Right.
No, I was so excited. I kind of blocked in a couple hours today to take Michael to lunch, and I was like, look at me, right? I'm taking some time off for lunch. That was a big deal. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's get to know Dorothy Inez just a little bit better. I've got your bio here. She talks about courageous.
People are texting, asking, where are you guys at?
Well, I'm in Denver. This is actually, so usually
they're asking us where we're at because we're recording today.
Oh, that's right. We're not live on Facebook.
We're not live on Facebook. So they're asking us where we're at. So I just had to tell them.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I forgot.
So Angel, my family lives in Denver and Colorado Springs.
Oh, they do. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I was just there. Are you moving out of state?
We are moving to Florida.
Oh, wow.
We are moving to Florida. Two of my girls, two of my kids, both my girls, work at Disney World right now.
Girl. We don't know where she's at.
We don't have any more girls. My son was just about to go he had graduated from the Disney College program, was about to start back up at Disney World when everything shut down. So he's been, pandemicking here with us, keep waiting for things to open. And so eventually he wants to go once they're open and hiring again, work there. My parents live there. So.
Wow. Different world.
You have your t-shirt on.
I do. I have my classic Disney.
Yay!
She's gonna stay at Disney. She's gonna be like, yeah, this is Angel Tessie live from Disneyland once again.
Yeah, I'm in the castle today.
Right? Yeah.
How fun would that be? How just absolute fun. So we do kind of drink the Kool-Aid, the Disney Kool-Aid. And my kids just love.
We're gonna move to Orlando because then you'll be in your happy place.
No, we want to find a place with a pool, and we've never had that.
I want you to have a place with a pool too.
Mm-hmm. So I do have like my dream house, like that we found, and it's probably not going to be on the market by the time like we were ready to. Yeah, look, I have like my dream house. Look at that pool.
Wow.
Right.
Now I see when people have homes in those pools, you have to put like screens around them. So
Yeah, that
alligators.
one has a screen around
Yeah,
it.
it's all screened in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's completely screened in.
It's a beautiful house. Like she was showing me online and I was like, oh wait, go back to that other picture. Oh.
You never know, Angel. God
I
is
know.
good.
God is good. God is really good. God is really good. But let's talk about you. Dorothy Inez, she talks about courageous camera confidence, and she's got a free e-guide she's going to give to you all today. Her specialty topic is 3 secrets every woman in direct sales needs to have in order to have courageous confidence in video. Oh, we should have started with this. Like I could use a little more tips from the master here. She's a 3-time international best-selling author, inspirational speaker, confidence coach who helps high-achieving women and leaders in direct sales show up in video with more purpose and power through a spirit-centered approach to personal presence. She believes that when a woman knows who she is boldly and unapologetically owns her call to serve. She holds a master's in organizational psychology. And when she's not working with clients, she is studying spirituality, watching movies, and listening to her favorite Prince music. We are soul sisters.
Hey, sister soul, sister soul, sister.
Angel's
I have a song for everything. I'm into
Angel's new song, and her theme song is by Boy George.
Oh, it's by Boy George. So we were doing, I was listening to all this stuff about building $1 million business. And I don't remember, but I was like the comma club.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 commas. And I'm like, oh, that's what Boy George was singing about. It was comma, a million. Right? Yeah. Like, so that's now my theme song, right? It's comma, a million. Although that's 3 commas, that's more than 1 million. But that's what he was talking about, is building your $1 million business.
That's exactly what he was talking about.
Well, then she started saying that, and I went, wait, what does he say?
But never hear it. Yeah, it's commas in order to build $1 million.
Now every time I heard it the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what he was saying, because she got it in my head.
Now that's going to be in my head. I might sing that on air one day.
Yes, right. We're going to join the comma club, and right, because that's our little $1 million club. I had a girlfriend call me the other day. She's like, Angel, let's go on a retreat. There's like a few of us that are really looking to build this $1 million business, and let's go. And I'm like, I'm in. Like that's my focus. Not only to build the $1 million business, but to teach others how to build $1 million business, and think about the impact and what we can do and how we can give back and inspire women behind us to really level up. And
I think that's the most important thing, is to, when you do it, teach others how to do it and bring them with you. Don't leave them to the wayside, bring them with you. Say, let's go, grab my arm, shoulder to shoulder, like Zandra Evans says, and let's go to the top together.
Yeah,
there's nothing more powerful than that sisterhood of helping women to rise. One of my mentors, she says, when the tide rises, all the ships on the tide rise together. Yeah. And that's the beauty of sisterhood, because God put us here to make an impact, to not just be isolated to ourselves and hold our knowledge, our skills, gifts, and talents to ourselves, but to really use those to uplift the world with them. So yeah, awesome. The more millions you make, hopefully the more impact you're going to have.
Exactly.
No kidding.
A million women helping 1 million women.
So Dorothy Inez, how did you become the queen of video? Because that's a thing that there's like, turn this thing on, talk to it. Like,
how do I do it? What do I do? What about my stroke eye?
Yeah, right. Well, that's my makeup artistry skills there coming in. But, I started doing video actually before video was a thing. Back in 2011, I was helping women show up. That's kind of where I started, because I'm going to be honest, it was from my own need to want to be a star.
I wanted to travel with Prince.
Hold on. Sorry about that. let me put my phone now that we're not, there we go, on airplane mode. All right. So, but yeah, it was always this need to, not need, this want to be a star. And then when I, came into my own work, seeing YouTube as a way for women to really get themselves out there, I always felt like I was a little princess, because I was ahead of my time, and it was tough back then to get women to want to show up in video. And I think back at that time, the thing to do was a lot of telesummits. Do you remember telesummits? And webinar things. But I love video, and I've always seen it as a way for people to truly experience who you are, experience your personality versus words. They actually get to see who you are.
Okay, so so you started doing it just for yourself, right?
For myself, and then I started teaching. Then, at the time when I was doing beauty, I would do, I hate to even have anybody look at my old videos. I would just use them as a point of confidence, which is how I use video now as a tool to instill confidence in women. Because if you can get in front of this camera and speak through this little hole right here, and not knowing who's on the other side, that helps to build a woman's confidence. Because women are so critical, oh, I don't like the way I look on camera. Oh, I hate hearing my voice. Women are so critical of themselves. And if I can get them to love and accept themselves, and what they see on this camera, and recognize that, number one, doing video is not about you. Getting in front of this camera, like my bio says, I come from a deeply spiritual place about the work that I do. I work with women on beauty, and I work with women around this confidence thing. And this camera speaking is not about you. It's about the person on the other side of the camera. You are here to serve. You are here to be God's hands and feet on the earth. And a way we get to communicate with the masses is through this video. And I'm so glad that, and it's crazy when, do you guys remember, what was that one, the first live platform? It started with a P.
It's Periscope.
Periscope came out.
Yeah,
Periscope. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real honest.
I did
Periscope
all the time.
It had me stressed out though, because those, what do you call them? I logged on once, and I had some guy come on. What do you call those trolls? Came on, and he was like, yeah, because at the time I was known as the Minister of Beauty. And he was like, yeah, minister me some beauty and show me your boob. And I was like, oh my God. I was instantly logged off, and I never logged on again. So live was something for me to master, because I could YouTube pre-record all day long.
There's nobody saying those kind of things.
Yeah.
There's some vulnerability in doing live. When we started doing our radio show, I used to do radio, and we did a live show versus a recorded show. Half of the broadcasters were pre-recorded. They'd go in and pre-record, and we would do it, and we would, and half would do live. But there's something very vulnerable about opening up that camera, not being able to go back and edit and redo. And it's very brave, I think, to do live. But one of the things, we had Michelle Cunningham on our summit yesterday. She was our keynote speaker, talking about the power of video in growing your business. Yes. And how, being comfortable with that. So I love that you're here today,
right?
Like to take this, just, this conversation that we had a little bit yesterday with Michelle, just a little bit further. But there is, there's shoot, I don't know what the right word is. Like when you can edit it, like you can create, and you've got some freedom in that, because you can pause and recreate and put some B-roll and get your voice right.
Sneeze. Let's take that piece
Oh,
out.
I don't like that angle or this or that. But when you're live, like I said, it lets people see the authentic you. Even when I recorded my first course, I have, you know, how you can have the courses and all that. I didn't go back when I was recording, and if I fumbled on words, I didn't go back and edit. I actually brought attention to it, and I kept going during that, because as leaders and for what I do, I have to model the way. And this isn't about perfection. It's really about showing up and being in service. And so that's the place, you know, again, when it comes to video, the number one thing for women in direct sales, coaches, it is get out of ego, which for me is edging God out and allowing God in and allowing God to speak through you and to just be a vessel. Because when you take the weight, when you take you off the page and just let spirit speak through you, because that call and purpose, that business that you have in your heart, that came from something outside of yourself. So allow that thing outside of you to do the speaking and just rest and just lean into it. And it's just so easy when you think about that man, that woman who's on the other side of this hole that needs to hear what you have to say.
And also needs to hear those mistakes that you make too.
Exactly.
When I recorded my course, I was telling Angel, I said, I fumbled on some words. I think I need to re-record it. And she's like, no, they like that. You know, like I sneezed one time, I coughed, you know, and people are.
You got a lot of sneezing going on here.
Right.
What's up?
And because they go and say, oh my God, I loved how authentic and real you were. And I'm like, here you are trying to be perfect, you know?
But did you see, like, Dorothy Inez, when you said, like, you're going to reach, and you had like this, you even leaned in a little bit and you saw this softening on your face, like, just be authentic. And you could totally see you leaning into that. And that's, people want you. They don't want somebody on a pedestal. They want somebody perfect, especially if we truly are bringing people with us, right? We want to help.
No, I need to have the right lighting. Like yesterday when Michelle was talking about, if you're going to have, you know, do video right. But if you don't have a budget, use this. If you don't have a budget, use this kind of camera. If you don't have a budget, use this. But if you do have a budget, use this, this, and this. So there's there's no excuse, but they want to see, I can do this. I don't have to have $10,000 worth of equipment. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have this perfect script. I don't have to, oh my God, I sneezed. I need to redo the whole entire thing, you know? And so I like that realness that we are giving permission now. Again, like with Michelle yesterday, she was our keynote speaker. And as she was speaking,
my girl,
her kids came into the video.
Or like my dog.
She was like, mommy's on a really important live right now. And they're like, okay. And they're like,
well, and you know, and you bring up a couple of good points I just want to touch on just about that. You know, I think back in my early days before we had these ring lights and the 3-point lighting systems were available. Girls, I was taking, I don't know if you've seen those cheap stand-up lamps that you can get like at Target and you screw them together.
I had that too, and I took off the top.
Yeah, I took the tops off. I bought myself, those clamp-on lights that they use and I would clamp them onto my desk. I had 2, on the side. I'd lean those other, ones up. You figure it out. So you just work with, like, when women go, I can't afford a ring light. I said, girl, do you have 2 lamps? Let's take the shades off, put 2 on each side. Let's work it out. Do you have a window? So there's ways to do it. And then this whole thing, like what you were saying about showing up and your personality coming forth, because a lot of women who started following me recently, they're in direct sales, and there's a lot of people doing what you do. And so the beauty of video is it allows people to see, I might sell this or that service, but what you get that's different is me. And that's what you get to showcase through video, is who you are and who you be in the world.
And
I love this. I love this.
Is like the best way to build that KLT factor, because they see your personality, they see who you are, they see your quirkiness, and they're like, oh my gosh, I love her. I love her energy. And that video does that for you guys.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, I need to take a little commercial break. I talk about our sponsors of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. Of course, it's our guests that make the show so much fun. So Dorothy Inez, thanks so much for being here with us, being unscripted, being willing to be that bright start to our audience's day. But of course, the show is brought to you by our fabulous sponsors. Bliss by the Lake Boutique is our clothing sponsor. We all just made that shift over to that fall wardrobe. Well, if you still need to add a few pieces, check them out online at Bliss by the Lake Boutique. They do fashion shows and trunk shows every week on social media, and they ship all over the globe. Zondra TV Network, we are globally streamed on 7 digital streaming platforms. Where you watch TV on demand, Zondra TV Network is there, and so is the Angel and Tina Morning Show. If you've ever thought about hosting your own TV show, you do podcasts, you've got content, you're on YouTube. What about your own TV production? Check out Zondra TV Network by visiting their website, beonztv.com. That's beonztv.com. And then if you're just feeling a little overwhelmed, right? It's the middle of the week. I've got still way too much to do. Well, here's our dirty little secret. Don't do it. Hire it out. Hire what you do, or do what you do best and hire out for all the rest by getting your own VA, your own virtual assistant, or a team of VAs. When you go to sonicva.com and mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show, they're going to give you a 10% discount off your first 40 hours of VA service. That's sonicva.com, sonicva.com. And every single day, right, they are growing leaps and bounds. We send new clients to Sonic VA every single day. Zondra TV Network has 15 new producers coming online with new programs. Bliss by the Lake Boutique, like, we've got the power of association is alive and well here.
That tank top that I had on yesterday with the crisscross, everybody, she's like, Tina, I have to make sure that these stay in stock because they see them on you and they're like, I want to buy you.
I want one. I need some more of those, right? I know I need to get a couple of those new colors, right? For the new season, but it was so beautiful. It is such a pretty piece.
It's a really, when it's kind of hard to put on because you guys know that I have
because her shoulders, she has a torn rotator cuff.
Angel was like, how did you get that tank top on? I said, it's very comical watching me dress these days.
I could just picture her like,
I said, thank goodness nobody, I'm like, I said, I've been trying to get it off. I'm trying to get it off because I can't take it off like this, because I can't lift my arm. And so I got to like pull it from the back. Like, you know how guys pull their tank tops on? I got to pull it from the back and then their holes get stuck in my head. It's just.
Yeah, to be a fly on the wall for
it's
that.
It's very comical to watch Tina Torres get dressed these days. Thank God nobody has to watch that. Dorothy Inez, what kind of tips can you give us? A couple of quick tips to give us to feel more confident on camera.
Well, like I said, I gave my number one tip, which is to get out of your head, get out of the need to be perfect, just come from that heart and soul of service. And so that would be tip number one. And number two, you gotta look good. You gotta be aligned. And so a lot of women, they're self-critical, but I would say put on something that makes you feel good. Put your best outfit on, put a color on that makes you, that makes you feel confident that when you wear that color, you get lots of compliments. If you need to, learn how to do your makeup for camera, because makeup for camera is a little bit different. I'm a makeup artist.
And I have learned that recently because Tina and I both go, oh my God, we look like clowns. And then we get on camera, we're like,
yeah, we feel like we have all this makeup on. And then we come on camera, we're like,
out.
I have makeup on, I promise.
Yep. And so one of the tips when I'm working with women in my classes, I teach them, is to apply your makeup, practice, do practice runs. And so that way you learn, what does it look like in the bathroom, so that I know when I come out in front of the camera, I have the perfect amount of makeup on, because camera is always going to require more. I don't know if you remember WSAV in Savannah. Yeah, I trained when they went to HD, I trained the entire staff on how to do their makeup, all the reporters and everything.
Yeah, Kim Gusty.
So that's tip number 2. And then number 3, I would say, is just create a plan. Do a little outline, because a lot of times, don't try to when you're first starting out, don't try to free fall, free flow.
Freestyle.
Freestyle. Have a plan and just make yourself, you don't need to write out a script, just some bullets that trigger your mind. So that way, what is it that you want to talk about? It helps keep you on track. And and I'm the kind of person, I write bullets, but spirit sometimes is like, girl, I have other things to say. And so I let spirit flow through me. And that's okay. But at least come with a plan and an intent and intention. That was a lot to say together, in an intention. And then have a call to action. Always have a call to action. What do you want people to do as a result of watching your video today?
Yeah.
So those would be my tips, to help women who are a little afraid. And if you get the guide that I'm giving you today, that's got more details about my top 5 tips to help you look and feel confident on camera, so that you feel more courageous and ready to show up and shine, because holiday season is coming up. If you're in direct self, you're going to need to show up in video. And then we're all doing these Zoom calls, and some people are doing Zoom dating. So girls,
above the keyboard dressing.
Yeah, there you go. Got your pajama bottoms on,
Yes. Yoga pants and above the keyboard dress.
Yeah.
Dorothy Inez, go ahead and give that your freebie. How can they get a hold of it?
So how they can get a hold of it is, I have to look down and read this, is bit.ly/CCC Women, stands for Courageous Camera Confidence Women. So bit.ly/CCC Women.
Is it all caps, all lowercase? Because I know Bitly is very specific.
All I believe it's
all lowercase. Let me look here, because you sent it to me.
We'll put her link in the comments below. She'll go back and do that. Speaking of what you said, I remember a couple of months ago, Angel, remember when you were going live like every week in Media Mastery, and you were like, I was supposed to talk about this, and I did not talk anything about it. I remember one time you just started going off and talking about something else, and you were like, I told you guys I was going to talk about this, and
it happened.
God led me to talk about this, and I think that was your most commented Facebook Live that you did.
Like me, I think I've got something really good, and it's going to be, and you plan it, you script it out, or put some bullet points in. I'm like, turn the camera on, go, and then it's this whole other thing, and it's way better results, anything that I would have come up with. Right, but let it flow. Let it flow out of you. And sometimes
it just made me think about that you were like, that was the most comments I got. Like, and she goes, and that was even because you went on there and said, hey, I'm Angel Tessie. We're gonna talk about this, this, and this. And then I don't even know what topic it was, but it was like the most comments that you got. And
because sometimes your notes throw you off.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dorothy Inez,
be authentic.
What exciting project do you have coming up? Like, what are you working on over the next 90 to 100 days?
Well, I'm super excited about launching my first Courageous Camera Confidence in about 2 years. So me and my coach, we've been working to put all the nuts and bolts together of that. And you should expect to see that in the month of November. So that way we are prepared to go into 2021, God willing, ready to rock out January. Even if we're at home, you're going to be able to do what you need to do through video and show up with so much courage and confidence doing it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, how exciting, right? Then what good timing. right? Good timing, because we are all on camera now. Even if it's just, I mean, I remember even back at Easter time, our family all got together on Zoom from all across the country. So whether it's personal, whether it's for school, parent teacher conferences, I mean, everything, it is all on camera. So having that confidence on camera, what are some of the things that do you cover how to dress, what to talk about, backgrounds? Like, what are some of the things?
Absolutely. We cover how to speak on camera. We cover lighting, and I teach video in such a way that it's real simple, not, where you got to build a set and all this, because I've been in a class like that. We had to build a set. So, and we learn about makeup, and we learn about style, because those are important. Personal branding in video. You have to be aligned. You're not going to be showing up in your pajamas unless you're doing a pajama party. And really, we talk about this need to serve, and how to use video to serve, and how to get your brand out there so that people get to know you. So there's 5 different topics. It's only a 4-week program, so we just get to the nitty gritty so that you're out there. We're not taking longer than we need to, and getting you in practice and being in a supportive environment to do it.
Do you guys know Nadia Milton?
Yes.
She came to Denver. She came to Denver years ago. We had Danelle Delgado did an event here in Denver. She brought in John and Nadia Milton. She brought in Darren Hardy. I mean, it was a really exciting event. And she had us all like take our phones and do like a live selfie video during the event. And that memory popped up, a few months ago on my camera. Oh, it was hideous. Oh, it was just, my face is like,
Like you get to see your growth. That's the beauty of it. And that's what I love about, the program I'm doing, is they do their first week's videos and they just see their progression. But you triggered something when you said selfie, because that's my bonus classes that I'll be having with it this time, is teaching you how to take selfies that you can use in your brand.
Oh, I could take
photos.
I never can. I'm like
a selfie girl, because I finally found my angle. Like,
oh, you did?
Like this.
Yeah, Tina takes selfies all the time.
Stick your neck out a little bit, tilt.
She's like, tilt your head this way, stretch your neck.
That is, because you got to find your right angle, you got to find your right,
Well, look. And she has this really beautiful filter that just makes her skin look like
smooths out everything.
Yeah.
Which one are you using?
I don't know. I didn't even know I had it in there until somebody was like, you have a filter on your phone. I'm like, I don't
just mean to.
Yeah. The main thing, if you want to take a good selfie, I'm going to give you the number 1 tip, especially for women 40 plus. What's going to make you look amazing is light. So that's all really, when I go and edit my photos, I'm not going and altering anything other than if the photo is too dark, I'm giving light, and then I do a little bit of smoothing, because the thing is that there's nothing worse than going to a networking event and you're supposed to meet somebody you met on Facebook. You're like, yeah, girl, you don't look nothing like this. And that was the only time they ever looked good, was when they did that photo shoot. So you have to keep and this is like totally
Photoshop they Photoshop them into a different person.
Yeah. And it's like, be authentic, whether it's in photos, whether it's in videos. Show up aligned with who you are, not somebody that's conjured up just for a brand. Because if I see you on the streets, girl, I want to be able to be like, oh my God.
Recognize you?
Yeah.
You won't recognize me on the street. Like, I don't look anything like this. When I see myself in like real life, I'm like, there's no lighting. Does my skin really look that color?
And I have a lighting crew follow me around everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll see something. I'm like, I've really gotten quite spoiled with the lighting and like all of this stuff. And then usually when I'm on camera, This is my only one little, I don't teach camera tricks, but
Oh,
this
but
is my one
everybody
that I
buys
found.
this one lipstick though.
Yeah, this is Maybelline Plum for You number 388. It was tested on like 50 different skin tones, and it's a little much to wear in person. It's a little much. But on camera, it totally brightens up your face, kind of makes your teeth look whiter. And yeah,
And
this
I
is
think
my,
you've got like 50 to 100 people to buy that one
Yeah.
lipstick.
I've tried to reach out to Maybelline to say, hey, let's play together. And like I did one actual video where I gave them all sorts of love about it, but it doesn't matter. It's like $8. Go and buy. Yeah, this was my one little secret.
Well, and and even you said in daylight that it's, it's too much. It just all depends. It's like women need to learn to own their beauty and just, girl, you want to rock a red lip, rock a freaking red lip. You just might need a little more blush, or you may need to do a cat eye.
You don't have to worry about grandma saying, we don't wear red lips during the day.
Yeah.
Every now and then my husband, he's like, okay, Angel, you look a little bit like a clown. I'm like, it's for camera. It's for camera.
I think you look gorgeous.
Gorgeous, darling.
Gorgeous, darling. Just gorgeous.
All right, ladies, let's make sure, Dorothy Inez, let's give your contact information one more time, how you want people to connect with you. I know it's a bit.ly, but how do they follow you on social, like all of that?
So you can follow me on social media. Just find Dorothy Inez, Dorothy Inez on Facebook, and then also on Instagram, Dorothy Inez. And again, that's my first name, not my first and last name. So don't call me Dorothy. And then you can Yeah. And then you can find me at, download bit.ly/CCC women.
For camera, confidence.
Courageous camera, confidence. Courageous camera, confidence. That's it.
We had the words, we just didn't have them in the right order.
Yes, you had the right words. It was all mixed up.
Well, be courageous on camera, ladies, because this is our time to shine, and there's no reason not to. We all have access. We all have all the equipment. We can just get started right now. You are an expert in something. Let that flow out of you. Let your confidence, just imagine. And this is, when I was on radio, people used to ask me, for some tips. And I said, just pretend you're talking to your biggest fan. Like I used to pretend I was talking to my mom when I first started, not thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people, just my mom. And when you imagine that you're talking to somebody who adores you, is your biggest fan, they support you, they love you, it gets easier to, it softens your voice, it makes you more relatable. And it kind of takes some of the fear, I think, away from chit-chatting in that space. And don't be afraid of mistakes, right? Don't be afraid of mistakes. That's sometimes your best stuff comes out when you're that vulnerable and real. Well, I'm Angel Tussey. I am your media matchmaker. If you are launching a business, a book, a brand, a program, let's get you some media exposure. We'll get you kicked off here with our Tickled Pink Media launch package. You can text the word Angel to 26786 and we'll get you plugged into Tickled Pink Media. Whole virtual tour, media publicity, press releases, the whole works right here, starting with the Angel and Tina morning show. And then if you just want a quick little starter guide, how do you get started in media? Where do I start? Who do I reach out to? You can grab your complimentary media starter kit at my website, makeyourbiguimpact.com, makeyourbiguimpact.com. It's free. Get started, get it. And then when you've got it ready to go, we'll launch you in a really big way right here on the Angel and Tina Morning Show.
I love it. I love it. We are there. Good morning, America. I'm Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist. And if you're struggling with building your audience, finding the right clients, or even retaining those clients that you already have, I have a complimentary guide that'll help you grow your audience organically, online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab your free guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We are so grateful to you, our audience, and our guests today for being our loyal fans. We hope we brought a bright start to your day. We come to you live every weekday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.